Hi everybody, and welcome back to RNBHomestead. Today we're going to be planting some blueberries. Yes, I use containers to plant my blueberries, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a video. Make sure to give it those thumbs up, and let's get into the video. So, welcome back. Now, we're going to be talking about planting some blueberries today, and as you can see, I have all my stuff all over the place. So, what you're going to need, what I use to plant my blueberries, first of all, you need some containers. Now, remind you, I live in an apartment, so my containers can't be as big as, of course, if you were planting outside. So, here's my containers. Now, my containers are kind of unique where they have holes in the bottom. If your pots do not have holes in the bottom, make sure you drill the holes because blueberries do not like wetness. So that means that you can cause root damage and your blueberry plant and a lot of other plants will die. You want to make sure that your plants are not sitting in water. So like this one already has the holes and then it has a little container at the bottom. Dollar Tree. So, also I have my gloves because I don't like to get my hands dirty. Also, I have some measuring spoons. We'll get to that later. I have a Sharpie with my little label so I can label what plant this is. And then, ta-da, blueberries. So, this blueberry plant came from Home Depot and it actually has the planting instructions on it. But I also got another blueberry plant that we will be transplanting into the bigger pot. Now, just some background on blueberries. Now again, as you know, as you watch my videos, I always have my little trusty notebook because I like to have all the information. Now mind you, this is how I do it. I can't tell you how to do it, but I can show you a method that works, and it works for me. And so you can judge for yourself what you need and what you do not want to put in your plants. So let's look at blueberries here. Blueberries are rich in vitamin C, K, and magnesium. They're a superfruit, shall we say. So you can use them when you make jams and jellies. You can just eat them. You can put them in salads and things of that nature. And we'll get into the jams and jellies because I'm definitely gonna make some blueberry jam. So anyway, now you also want to make sure that the reason I have 2 blueberries is because it's recommended that you actually, even though blueberries are what they consider self-pollinating, that they will grow, but there is one type of blueberry that does need a male cross-pollination in order to grow, and I can't think of what it is, and it didn't write it down. Sorry. So basically though, your blueberries will grow bigger, faster, lusher when you grow them in pairs. So that's why I'm doing 2 blueberry bushes that we're going to set out on my patio. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you my patio in another video so you can see what kind of space I'm working with and why I'm using containers. Now, the soil for blueberries, you can use soil that's made for azaleas to grow your blueberries because they actually will work for them and they like that. The pH for blueberries as far as your soil should be 4.5 to 5. Now you're saying, oh, science. Well, just so you have the information, so you can actually, say you go out and you get a little meter that you can get from any of your box stores. It costs like $5, and you can check the pH of your soil. With me having a container, I can control that a little bit more, the pH, and making sure I have a good soil. So I just want to give you that information so you have it. And let's talk about what I'm going to be using as my soil. So down here I have some heavy black cow manure that I got on sale. This big bag right here was $5. Yes, I stock up on them because I'm planting a whole lot. As you can see behind me, I have my grow lights and that set up. I'm way behind because of this frost. I should have planted a whole lot of stuff. But I'm going to bring you along with me so we can take this journey together. With the black cow, I also put some peat moss in when I'm planting my trees. Now, the soil is actually down here in the bucket, and the reason why it's down here in the bucket is because there's a difference. I'm using soil and not potting seedling mix. The potting seedling mix I used in these trays when I start from seeds, but I'm using soil to plant these bushes and these trees. But what I recommend is that the day before you're going to plant, put all your soil that you're going to use in the bucket or your container and pour hot water over it. This will kill any kind of gnat, larva, eggs, whatever you want to call it, to prevent little gnats running around in your house. Now, technically when you buy soil and you container garden like I do, supposedly the soil is fresh, so it hasn't been outside, so it hasn't been exposed, but you never know. And taking boiling water and pouring it on your soil is a way to keep down the gnats. So that's not all. To make sure that my little blueberries have enough food, what I do in the beginning is I give them just a little bit of fertilizer, because as you can see, I'm not growing from seedlings, I'm growing from actual plants. Now, I remind you to read from this, read the instructions on here, but for when you're dealing with established plants, because what you need for established plants and new plants are two different things. And also when you're container gardening is a whole different thing also. If I'm not mistaken, if I read down here for my potted plants, with these new plants, it's going to be mixed 2 cups of the Holy Tone cubic feet of soil per cubic feet of soil. So, or if it's an established plant, you just need 1 tablespoon for 3 inches. Now this one is an established plant. This one technically is not so much established plant, so I'm going to be kind of skimpy on the fertilizer because again, the soil I'm using has a little in there. So I'm going to, with these pots, they're 12 inches in diameter, so that would be 3, 6, 9, 12, 4 tablespoons to put in this container. Make sure you read it because you don't want to overfeed and kill your plant. So let's get into this potting. So basically, first of all, we're going to put on these gloves because last time I was potting, I forgot the gloves, and then I had to sit here and take a toothbrush and clean up under my nails. It's always good to be very, 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 very thorough when you're planting these trees. So, gloves on. Now, with this blueberry plant here, let's start with here. This is a Jersey blueberry plant, and basically the way you work, you would take your pot and put the bottom back on here. Now mind you, my soil is moist. I let it sit 24 hours because of course I pour boiling hot water on it. Some people just pour the boiling hot water on there, let it sit a couple of hours, and use it. Really your decision. So basically I take my pot and I'm going to fill it up about, I want to say almost a half of a way with the equal parts of soil, black cow, and the peat moss. So let's get that mixture put together here. So I have my soil down here. The soil that I have about 24 pounds of soil. So I'm going to add about that much of peat moss. This bag of peat moss is about, what does it say, 8 quarts. Pounds to quarts, pounds to quarts. What is it? And with this bag of black cow, this is a, how big is this bag here? This is 1 cubic feet of black cow. So when you're mixing these, make sure you're using the right metrics, because you know I have cubic feet, I have quarts, I have pounds. So make sure that you have, basically, if you're going to do, let's just take thirds. You do 1/3 peat moss, 1/3 black cow, 1/3 soil. So let's get to this. So you want to make sure that we are having the right metric. So I told you that I put 24 pounds of the dirt, which is this bag of peat moss. I said was, what did I say? I think I said 8 quarts. So this is 1 pound is about, 24 pounds is about 11.5 quarts. So I need about, with this being 8, I need about 1.5 bags of peat moss in my mix. Which of course, where's my scissors? Over here. So I have my kit over here of things that I might have needed, and one of them is a pair of scissors that I'm having a hard time getting out of the little case. Just showing you the real. What could go wrong goes wrong. So again, I need about 1.5 bags. So I put 1/2 bag of the peat moss in there already. So I'm going to put this whole bag in there, and that gives me about 12. So that equals out how much? Come on. Okay. Go ahead and sprinkle my peat moss in here. So let me bring you over here so you can see the mixture. This is my mixture here. So as you can see, I got the soil down here and the peat moss, and I'm using my tool here to mix it all up. And like I said, this is still a little moist from when I poured the hot water on it and let it sit. And you can see, just pretty. Now, while I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and add the black cow. Now this bag is about 62 pounds, but remember, I only need about 24. So I'm going to go ahead and add this black cow to my mixture. Let me go ahead and do that. Now as you can see, I'm about to add the black cow in here, and like I said, this bag is about 62 pounds. So I'm going to add just a bit over 1/3 of this bag to this mixture. And you're like, Robert, you only got those 2 containers. I still got some other I have some raspberries, some blackberries also to pot. So this soil definitely will not go to waste. Now I've gone ahead and added the black cow to it. Beautiful mixture. And we'll be right back once I mix this all together. It's going to take me a minute. So welcome back. Now I have my soil mixed together. And like I said, I could have mixed that off, but I wanted to actually share with you how I make my soil. So again, I put the bottom on my pot here, and we're going to fill it up to about this much, about 1/3. We're going to put the plant in, And then you want to make sure that you cover it up to just where the roots are. And I'll show you in a minute, but let me put some dirt in here and get this filled up. Now, blueberries, I am in zone 7A. So, you know, we've been getting this freakish weather. My little blueberries are going to stay inside. We're supposed to get some warmer weather like 50s or 60s starting next week. And what I'll do is that maybe I'll take them out for an hour and then bring them back in with them actually being trees. But I don't want to kill them. But I definitely have them next to a window to get that light that they need. So, we've gone ahead and filled this up. We're going to take our little blueberry plant out. Sometimes you just got to get your hands in the dirt. I had to take off that glove. So, it just makes it easier for me. So, again, take our little plant. We're like, hi baby plant. Hi blueberry. Are you ready to come out the bag? And the blueberry like, yes ma'am, let me out. And as you can see, there's our little blueberry. I don't know what soil they use, so I'm not going to use that soil because again, I have my own. So we take the little plant and we put it in there. We want to make sure that we even it out, and we want to make sure that we don't we want to make sure we cover the roots. So let me go ahead and put some more dirt in there. With this plant, I probably could have filled it up halfway because it doesn't have the root system that this plant has. So let's go ahead and fill this up some more. You definitely will get your workout with gardening. The soil in that is not light. So we're going to set this right here. And now I'm going to start filling in around it. So filling in around it, and of course it's just easier if I have the pot down here on the ground. Then now you want to leave some space. You don't want to fill it all the way up to the top. Luckily these pots have a rim to where I want to fill it up to. Give you guys somewhere you can see. So again, here's my little tree, my little blueberry, and I think as you can see they have a little rim, so you don't want to fill it all the way up here. I'm going to fill the soil to about right here. Okay. Now, remember I told you this is 12 diameters. We're going to pot the other blueberry tree, and then once we plot that tree, I'm going ahead and going to put the Holyton fertilizer in there. But let's go ahead and plant this other tree. Okay guys, we're going to go ahead and plant our other little bush. Now remind you that this one right here is a little bit more well established. This variation is called, this is the blueberry, where's the name? I had the name. Oh well. So we're going to plant this baby. So again, in this case, because it has all the established roots, I'm going to fill it up about halfway, about this much, maybe a little bit over a third away. We're going to remove the little plant and pop it in and then fill in around it. So let's get to doing that. Now, you can use blueberries. You can take them, you can freeze dry the fruit. You can actually dehydrate the blueberries and store them for amount of time. You can actually, like in another video that I'm going to do is a car kit, and you can actually keep the freeze dried or your dehydrated cranberries in your car as a snack, just in case of an emergency, you get stuck or anything like that. Fill it up just a little bit more. I also forgot, yeah, you might want to put some tarp or some plastic on your floor. Luckily, I have hardwood floors, so it's easy to clean up. But if you have carpet in your apartment, you might want to put some plastic down, maybe a plastic garbage bag or something underneath your dirt in your pot so you don't get it all over the place. Okay, so here we go. We're going to transplant this little baby. Now you want to be very careful. You don't want to be brutal and pull it, but if you squeeze, see here, you squeeze like this, look at that. Came right on out. Beautiful. Look at this root system. Whew. We're going to have some wonderful blueberries, guys. I'm going to have some at my farmer's market, and I'm going to have some in my freeze dried in my pantry. Okay, so as you can see, we got it out the pot. Now we're going to go ahead and fill the pot up around it. Some people like to break up the roots. It's your choice. I break them up a little bit, trying not to harm the plant, but make sure you just don't damage, try not to damage the roots. Let me squeeze some of the roots, dirt out the roots so it can sit. And make sure that you stabilize the plant because you want it to be, centered. Okay, so I've gone ahead and planted both of the little blueberry plants, and like I told you before, we're going to put a little bit of the holly cone in there. And for these pots, and they're already pre-existing plants, you're looking at about a tablespoon per 3-inch diameter. And since these are 12, I'm going to do 4 tablespoons per plant. Where's my tablespoon? No, not teaspoon. Not tablespoon, teaspoon. Okay. 44 in here. Bring you guys down here so you can see the plants. Because again, it's all about the plants, not me. So as you can see, there go both of my little plants. Go ahead and sprinkle 4 teaspoons Now, if you, I've seen a lot of gardeners, they use, for their trees, they use coffee grounds, and they also use eggshells. Unfortunately for me, I don't drink a lot of coffee or tea, so I wouldn't have that option, but you do have the option of fertilizing your plants with coffee grounds and eggshells. So there you have it. Bring you back up here. Yes, this is not studio grade. This is real grade. Keeping it real. That's it. So we've plotted, yeah, right, Robin. We've planted both of our blueberry bushes. Now, the blueberry bushes, they like full sun and they prefer 6 to 8 hours of sun. So like I said, with me and my grow zone, I'm gonna have my grow lights on, my regular lights on, and of course for about an hour a day, for the first week I'm gonna be taking them outside to make sure they get some direct sunlight versus just the sunlight in my windows. But I'm gonna make sure they get plenty of light because they need about 6 to 8 hours. So thank you for joining me on this journey. Like I said, it's not easy even if you don't have a full-blown homestead. I'm gardening and growing in my apartment. But thank you for taking this journey with me. I have a couple of videos coming up about buying land, some experiences I've been having actually purchasing land in Arizona. Also, due to the weather, I'm going to do some other videos on what you should keep in your car, bug out bags, if you're a person who does not want to stay, or if you get caught out and emergency happens and you have to truck it all the way home. Either way, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so that every time I post a video, you're notified. Make sure to give me that thumbs up and share. I want to thank you guys again, but until next time, see you later.